Hi, and welcome to Saturday Live Meditation with me, Ian. And while people just settle in, we've been doing this for some months now. The Cranial Pediatrics course is actually, I downloaded it and played with it yesterday, and it's ready to go. And I think we should put it out by Wednesday, so I'm quite excited about that. And the Anxiety Breaks one probably a week later, so it's really finally coming together. Things take time to iron out the final little bits and pieces from them. So today I thought we'd talk about ignition and light, because it's one of my favourite subjects, and people who have been taught by me in terms of in cranial pediatrics and osteopathic stuff, they'll know it's my favourite subject, is talking about light and getting people's ignition back and getting the light back. And it's almost like switching the lights back on in people. And I literally was doing it 10 minutes ago with a patient. Really important, actually. Yeah, I'm a post-COVID patient, actually. Just to get, because the energy is, the ignition goes and you have to put the lights back on. But we're going to have a little look at light, and in particular photons. So a photon is a type of elementary particle. It's like a quantum packet of energy. It's obviously micro, has a mass of 0, and it moves at the speed of light, because it is light within a vacuum in space, say. Its energy is tiny. It's 3 times 10 to the minus 11 joules. So it's a tiny packet of energy, is a photon. So they can only really be felt in huge numbers. But we can feel light. We can feel the energy of light. We can feel the sun. And the energy of sun, actually, we can feel because it has 3 times 10 to the 18 photons per second hitting us when we feel the light of sun on our skin. What's interesting, though, is there are these things called biophotons, which are increasingly being researched, which are these photons which are in the visible light range, which are actually produced inside biological systems, like cells, for example. And these have been shown to pulse like in tens per second, tiny, tiny amounts. But this is within the cells. And this cell, these photon exchanges are almost like digital messages which connect cells with each other. And there's certain research that's shown that these biophotons can actually act to speed up growth in plants, etc. Now, I'm particularly obviously interested in functional anatomy and complex kind of, especially neurology, I suppose. And there are certain parts of our systems, actually there's a huge amount of our systems that are shown to be responsive to light. So the spinal cord, the brain, the neurons. Neurons are incredibly light sensitive. And there are certain parts of the nervous system within the brain, the pineal, the eyes, of course, they work on light. There's an area called the third ventricle of the brain, which is right in the center, and we're going to do a little feeling experiment with that later. Pituitary gland, hypothalamus, even blood has been shown to be sensitive to light. And personally, I think that the future of medicine is going to be working around light. Light is, I think it's vital. So this idea of this bioluminescence, this lightness within the biological spheres, has been shown to engage with this idea of communication of cells. Neurotransmitters, which are the transmitters that connect different parts of the brain in terms of function, they often link with hormones. For example, dopamine, serotonin are bioluminescent. They are functioning through light, and it could be said that our brain could be seen as like a holographic computer working through layers of light. So the idea of ignition is something that I work in practice with a lot, and it's really important. There are certain things, ignition you can see. If you see someone who has ignition, there's light in their eyes. There is light in their eyes. And when someone, say for example, is in grief or is depressed, or their immune system is depressed in autoimmunity, or they're not well, or post-viral, the light goes. Everyone can see it. Actually, it's nothing special for us to see that. You know it. Someone's light has gone from their eyes. Conversely, someone who's just fallen in love, or someone who's full of joy, boom, there's light in their eyes. That's ignition. It's a key element. And so I spend a lot of my time in practice or doing the distant stuff, switching people's lights on, getting that light back through the center of the brain, through the third ventricle of the brain, which switches on a lot of different systems that can be depressed, especially the nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system. That connection between the endocrine, immune, and the nervous system is the key point, and that happens right in the center of the brain, in some of the brain tissue around the third ventricle, which is a fluid ventricle in the middle of the brain. So why am I talking about this? Sorry. Because I find it fascinating. But what I want us to do today is just try and get and connect with a feeling sense of light internally. And if we can do that, we can help restore our own light, actually, if we're feeling low or whatever, to some degree. So there's a practical purpose of it. So anyway, let me talk less and let's try and relax and get into a meditative space. So close your eyes and rest and just listen to my voice. And just settle yourself. Let go of all of that kind of conceptual thinking stuff I was just talking about. And get into your feeling body, where you're sensing. Just allow yourself to contact your breath and accept however your breath is. Allow your out-breath to let go of the day, let go of all that accumulated tension, which is natural to modern life, especially these days, and allow yourself to settle into yourself, to settle into a quiet place within you. And that quiet place in you is your home. And sometimes there can be feelings, emotions, or bodily sensations. If you've got a sore leg or something, as soon as you quieten your mind, all you feel is the sore leg or the hungry tummy or the itchy nose or whatever. Just let them be. Allow them. That's fine. Okay, I see my knee is sore or my nose is itchy. It's all right. Just to let it be. It's fine. It's okay. Maybe move my knee so it feels a bit better. And then just look at what's quiet behind that. Now, unless you're in a darkened room, what I want you to do is to get a feeling sense of light touching the skin of your face or of your arm. It's like a delicate warmth. You can feel it. We screen it out of our senses because we're used to it. But we know that difference between night and day, don't we? And we can feel it. We can feel that. Just get a sense of that. Light, you can feel it through your clothes. It's the same. It doesn't matter because light penetrates Photons penetrate clothing. They penetrate skin on some levels. So, allow that feeling just to expand to your whole body. Can you feel your body surrounded by light? So light in this solar system comes from the sun. And that sun provides, that light is an energy source, and that provides the energy for our entire planet, for the growth and development of plants. The sustenance of life would be impossible without the photon light, the energy light from the sun. It creates everything. And so, just feel your body surrounded by the natural light that is. It's got a quietness to it, but it's present for us. Now, just move your attention to your eyes. Even though your eyes are closed, you can still feel the light. Just allow your eyes to relax, to soften, and feel the light coming through your eyelids and coming back and hitting your retina. It's there. It's always there. There's light there, present there. And just allow yourself to feel the light hitting the back of your eye. So that is light coming from the outside in. Now, when we're not quite on form, we don't necessarily feel that light. We have to almost let the light in. Often when people are chronically unwell, you have to let the light in, literally let the light into their tissues, their cells, especially if they've got very complex issues. Now, in the center of your brain, right in the middle of your head, is like there's a light bulb. And you can gauge how much the light's on, actually. Is that light on? It's kind of a little dim. Okay. Just allow the light from the outside to wake up that potential for light in the middle of your brain. That's the third ventricle of the brain. It's like a bulb that switches on, and it is receptive to light. The pineal gland that sits at the back of it is receptive to light. The hypothalamus, the pituitary, all of those nuclei, they're all sensitive to light. And it's like almost you're like allowing the light back, and you can let it come through your eyes. And just sit with that potential, even if it doesn't feel light, sit with the potential for light that's there. And wait. And then you'll just feel the light switch on. It's like the light goes, oh yeah, boom. So what we're always doing is we're looking at the potential for something to be. That's light. And it's really important. And we need to let our light in sometimes. I think that if we can let light into our tissues, it maintains the health on a level. I think it's really important. Anyway, I'll pick this up with another kind of meditation, but just play with that idea of light coming in, allowing it in, allowing the light to come in through your eyes, to switch on the bulb. I wish you well, and I'll see you next time.